Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start the next part of chemical effects of electric current. We are going to start the third part. First part and second part we have seen in the video part 1 and part 2. If any one of you have not seen, please go to the description. There I have given the link. You can see there. Now we will start electrolysis. What is electrolysis? Whenever electric current is passed through an electrolyte and a chemical change takes place, then this chemical change is known as electrolysis. What is electrolysis? The chemical change that takes place when an electric current is passed through an electrolyte is known as electrolysis. And this process of electrolysis is carried out in a special type of vessel, apparatus we can say, which have got electrolyte and electrodes. And this special type of vessel we call it as the electrolytic cell. So in the earlier part, video number part 2, we had seen how the electricity was passed through sodium solution, and then there was a formation of sodium ion and chloride ion. So there are two rods which are hung in the electrolyte. That rods we call them as the electrodes, as we have already seen earlier. The one which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, they are known as the anode, and the one which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, they are known as the cathode. And the liquid or the fluid or the molten state one substance that is present in the electrolytic cell, with the help of which electrolysis process goes on, that is known as electrolyte. How does electrolysis occur? So whenever electricity is passed through an electrolyte, the positive ions of the electrolyte move towards the negative electrode. Try to understand, the electrolyte will split up. For example, if there is sodium chloride, then it will break up into Na plus and Cl minus. If there is a copper sulfate, then it will break up into Cu2 plus NSO4 2 minus. So this positive one, the positive ion, which you call them as the cations, will move toward the negative electrode, the cathode. And when they gain electron, they become a neutral substance. At the same time, the negative ions move towards the anode. You can see in this diagram here what we had seen in the last video. See, the positive one moving towards the cathode and the negative one moving towards the anode. When the splitting of the electrolyte takes place, at the same time both the charged ions moves toward the oppositively charged electrodes. And when they gain electron or they lose electron, after that they become neutral substance, and it is evolved at the electrodes. And if it is a metal, it is deposited at the cathode. So here we can see the sodium, it is a metal, it is deposited at the cathode. So we can say that the decomposition of an electrolyte, when electricity is passed through it, is called electrolysis. I had given you the definition earlier. You can write this one also, the definition. The next one, we are told to study the electrolysis of water. How we are advised to do? We are told to take some water in a plastic or glass vessel as shown here, and then we will add a pinch of salt or a few drops of an acid such as vinegar to the water. Why we add? Because maybe the water may not be a good conductor of electricity, so when we add salt or this acid, it becomes a conductor of electricity. And also it helps in the formation of an electrolyte. When this salt or vinegar will be added, or any acid will be added, then it will become an electrolyte. and this will help in the conduction of electricity. Then what we are told to do? We are told to open two cells. You know, you use battery, that you call battery, but actually each one we call them the cell. We will take two cells and each will break, and from the middle one you can see like this black one is there, that is made up of graphite. That one we will take out, or you can see it is made up of carbon rods are there, and we will take out that carbon rods. And since carbon does not react easily, the electrodes here will not undergo any change during electrolysis. We will place this electrode in the solution and connect them to the battery of 6 volt as it is shown here in the diagram. In this way we will do the arrangement. Soon what we will see the formation of bubbles at the electrodes. Both the places will start seeing bubbles. But what we will see, at one place we will see the bubble formation is more, and another side the bubble formation is less. The more bubbles are there at the cathode. Here you can see, here less bubbles are there. So you must understand that when one molecule of water, is broken, or when one molecule of water splits, then it forms two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. So since the number of atom of hydrogen form is double the number of oxygen atom, therefore we see here the more bubbles than in this case. And so we also understand that the hydrogen gets collected at this cathode and the oxygen gets collected at the anode. At the same time we also understand that hydrogen, when water will break. For example, we have here, you can see this H2O, it will break when electricity is passed through it. Here you write electricity or electric current. Then what happens? It's formed 2H plus O2 minus. So see here, this is a positively charged cation, so it will be attracted towards the cathode, the negative charged electrode, the negative one electrode. And see here O2 minus, it is oxide, it is negatively charged, it is anion, so it will be attracted towards the positive one, the anode. So we saw this one as the electrolysis of water. So if you are asked to write the explanation for electrolysis of water, or write an activity show the electrolysis of water, you will write this activity and you will try to draw this diagram in a simple way, not as much complicated as it is. Just you can write here battery one, here you can draw this all as easy way you can draw, you will try to draw. Let us come to the next page. See what I had shown here in this part, it is not in this direct way. Okay, in the next page we will be shown here that how it happens. Actually, when the electricity is passed through that water, and when the electrolysis of water is going on, then first the water splits up into H plus and OH minus. Again this hydrogen ion, that is H plus ion, it will gain electron, it will form H2, and this hydroxide ion will lose electron and it will react, it will form oxygen and water at the anode. But the overall reaction we represent it in this way, or what I had written here, this is also correct. So here it has been shown to us that the volume of hydrogen liberated is twice that of oxygen. That is why we see more bubbles at the cathode. So it is clear that the volume of hydrogen liberated is twice that of oxygen. That is why we see more bubble at the cathode. Now we are told to make an electric pen by the use of electrolysis. We can use electrolysis to make an electric pen. How can we make an electric pen? We are told to dissolve some potassium iodide. We will take some potassium iodide in a starch solution. We will soak a piece of stiff paper in this solution and place it on the bare end of a wire as shown here. We will connect this wire to the negative terminal of the battery, and we will use a wire connected to the positive terminal of the battery for the purpose of writing on this piece of paper which was soaked in a starch solution. Actually it so happens that in the solution that we had taken, potassium iodide 1, this potassium iodide consists of K plus I minus. So how it happens? In solution, potassium iodide consists of potassium and iodide ions. So that potassium breaks up into K plus and I minus. So when electricity is passed through the solution, the iodide ions lose their charge to form iodine. 2I minus loses 2 electrons to form I2, iodine, and this happens at anode. The iodine released produces a black colored substance, and that is starch, and this acts as an ink of the electric pen. So when we try to write here, then because of the electric current, the iodine released produces a blue-black colored substance with starch, and this behaves like an ink, and we are able to write with the electric pen. Our next topic is electroplating. The method of putting a layer of one metal over another metal with the help of electricity is called electroplating. Electroplating is usually done to make the objects more attractive or to prevent them from rusting. Electroplating is usually done on large scale. It is done on large scale where in industry. For example, the bumpers of the cars are chromium plated to protect them from corrosion. Water taps are plated with nickel or chromium. Similarly, steel electroplated with tin to make containers for storing food. Steel is electroplated with tin to make containers for storing food. Tin is an inert metal and so is less reactive than iron. Also, silver cutlery is made of brass, which is less expensive and is stronger. And then brass is electroplated with silver. In your house, you must have seen the kitchen gas burner. They are also electroplated. Handlebars of bicycle, towel rails are electroplated with silver layer or chromium layer, or you can say thin layer of chromium. Chromium does not get corroded. That's why chromium is used for electroplating purposes. It can be polished to make bright, and this chromium does not get scratched or wear out and forms a hard layer. Then we have iron plated with tin to prevent this. I already told you all. Next we have here silver one they are telling. So some ornaments which are made of less expensive metals are also electroplated with silver or gold by jewelry makers. So this makes the thing look beautiful attractive and also protects them from corrosion, and that's why electroplating is done. Now we have to learn how we can do electroplating of a steel spoon with silver. For this, what we will do, we have to take in a beaker a solution of silver salt, and then the steel spoon which we want to have a coating of silver, we will connect it with the negative terminal of the battery, and we will take a silver bar and we will connect it to the positive terminal of the battery. And as we will switch on the button, we will put on the switch, as when we will put it on, then what will happen, electric current will start flowing from the positive terminal of the battery, and then it so happens that silver salt, which is taken as an electrolyte here, it will break. Suppose I have taken silver sulfate, then silver sulfate will break into silver cations of silver and sulfate anions, or you can say sulfate ions and silver ions. And then what will happen, this silver which has been formed from the splitting of this solution in the salt in the solution, that silver will be attracted, it is a positively charged one, Ag2 plus, so it will be attracted toward the negative terminal of the battery, and here it will be connected to this electrode which is being connected to the negative terminal of the battery, because unlike charges attract each other, and hence a thin layer of silver will get accumulated on this spoon, steel spoon. And when there is a deficiency here in the solution, then the silver from this bar melts, get decomposed and get in milk, and this process goes on continuously, and thus in this way we are able to electroplate a steel spoon with silver. So you can say in this way that the spoon and the silver bar are dipped in this electrolyte, and they are connected to the negative and positive terminals of the battery. The positively charged silver ions move to this negative electrode, the spoon, and form a deposit of silver on it. Now next we are told here to study about how we can do an electroplating of 5 rupee coin with copper by using copper sulfate solution. So we will do this activity in this way. We will arrange the apparatus as shown. We will take a beaker, in that we will take copper sulfate solution. Then what we will do, we will take a thick wire of copper, and we will remove the plastic covering of that, and we will insert in this solution, and we will connect that end, other end of this wire to the positive terminal of the battery, and then to the another negative terminal of the battery we will take another wire and connect it to a clip. This clip is also made up of metal, not plastic, as shown here, and in that clip we will try to adjust or hang that 5 rupee coin. And then as soon as we will switch on the button, what will happen, electric current will start passing through this copper sulfate solution. The copper sulfate solution CuSO4 will break into Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus, that means copper ions and sulfate ions. And then the positively charged copper ion that has been formed here moves towards the coin which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, because unlike charges attract each other. And then here in this, what will happen, these ions will gain electron and get formed as copper, Cu2 plus 2E minus, that means 2 electrons. These copper ions will get 2 electrons and form copper and will get deposited here. When there will be deficiency of copper ions in this one, again this copper will lose electron, or you can say in this way, the copper will lose electron and form Cu2 plus ions and will make up for the deficiency in the solution, and thus this process goes on. Or you can say in this way, the sulfate ions loses these copper ions to this, and from again this copper one, the copper ion comes into the solution. And after some time we will observe like this color of the 5 rupee coin. So we can understand that this color has been formed because of the electroplating of copper over this 5 rupee coin. So equation has been shown here. A copper sulfate consists of copper and sulfate ions. CuSO4 forms Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus. When electricity is passed through the solution, the positively charged ions move to the cathode. The coin connected to the negative terminal, there the copper gains electron and get deposited as the copper metal. This all I have already told you all. The sulfate ion remains in solution. At the copper anode, copper goes into the solution by giving up 2 electrons. That I told you that copper will lose electron, and then it is forming Cu2 plus. Thus the strength of the solution remains unchanged. Why? Because the deficiency of the copper ion is being made up from this one. This copper that we have taken, that supplies the copper ions. Next we have got uses of electrolysis. What are the uses of electrolysis? So electrolysis is used in the extraction of metals from their ores. For example, when a current is passed through a molten sodium chloride, sodium is deposited at the cathode and chlorine is evolved at the anode. Aluminium and potassium also extracted by the process of electrolysis. About this all in detail you will study in class 10 metals and non-metals chapter. There you have in that chapter extraction of metals are given there. In that part you will study in detail. Next we have this electrolysis is used for refining certain metals such as copper and zinc. Electrolysis is used for the manufacture of chlorine. In submarine, oxygen produced by the electrolysis of water is used for breathing. Electrolysis is also used for electroplating many things we use every day. So these things we have to learn. Here no explanation is required. Just you will memorize them. Okay, so this chapter is over. I hope you all have understood. Study nicely. Wish you all the best. Thank you.